judiciary is problematic, as is the procedure for the selection of judges. I heard reports and allegations of pressure exerted by members of the executive, prosecutors, and other state agents, in particular members of the state security apparatus, on both judges and prosecutors. Issues related to the independence of judges are further compounded by the fact that a large number of judges are non-nationals. While the appointment of judges of different nationalities may not be inherently problematic, the main issue about non-national judges in the UAE is the temporary nature of their contracts, which leaves these judges extremely vulnerable to undue pressure and interference. At the center of my report are concerns about the serious allegations of violations of due process and fair trial guarantees I heard during my visit, especially with regard to state security-related offenses. As I orally stated before the Council, most of the people accused of state security crimes are arrested without a warrant, taken to secret detention facilities, subjected to torture and or other forms of ill treatment. Their access to legal counsel is extremely limited. In addition, these cases are considered in first and last instance by the Federal Supreme Court, denying defendants their right to a review of their conviction and sentence by a higher tribunal. I'm also concerned that over the past few years, more than 200 complaints relating to torture and ill treatment have been presented before judges and prosecutors, but that those complaints have not been appropriately investigated or taken into account in judicial proceedings. The lack of serious investigations in that time of allegations encourage impunity for perpetrators. It also constitutes a violation of the obligations of the United Arab Emirates under the Convention Against Torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Moreover, and according to information received, in many high-level cases heard before the State Security Chamber of the Federal Supreme Court, hearings were held in closed sessions or with limited public access. Exceptional circumstances can warrant that all or part of the public is to be excluded from court hearings. Nevertheless, such exclusion must be clearly motivated, and the judgment, including essential facts, evidence, and legal reasoning, must be made public. The publicity of hearings ensures the transparency of the proceedings, thereby providing an important safeguard for the defendant. In the report, I also noted my concerns that women are prohibited by law from becoming federal judges and federal prosecutors. Those discriminatory provisions are in breach of the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, to which the United Arab Emirates acceded in 2004, and are therefore unacceptable. Women still face institutional gender discrimination in many facets of the justice system, including when filing complaints with the police or appearing before the courts. Judges, prosecutors, and even lawyers showed gender bias and discriminatory attitudes and practices present in society in the United Arab Emirates. I am convinced that a more representative and gender-sensitive judiciary could play a determining role in empowering women to gain access to justice, claim their rights, and break patterns of gender discrimination and impunity in cases of violence against women. Regarding the federal public prosecution, I am particularly concerned that it is still under the de control of the executive, which jeopardizes its autonomy. Indeed, the public prosecution was established under the direct supervision and control of the Minister of Justice, and the selection of prosecutors carried out by the Minister of Justice and approved by the Cabinet. I have heard serious reports which indicate that the prosecution services are often influenced by members of the executive or the state security services. Prosecution services should be autonomous, and prosecutors should perform their functions in an independent, objective, and impartial manner in compliance with the law and international legal principles. Finally, I am concerned about absence of independent, self-regulating bar association that oversees the process of admitting candidates to the legal profession, provides for a uniform code of conduct, and enforces disciplinary measures, including disbarment. The establishment of such an independent association is a key element in ensuring the independence of lawyers. At the moment, the executive is extensively involved in the admission and registration of lawyers, as well as in disciplinary procedures against them, which is incompatible with the basic principles on the role of lawyers, as it undermines lawyers' independence. I am alarmed at reports that some lawyers who take up cases related to state security have been harassed, threatened, and had pressure exerted on them, including through constant surveillance, public campaigns of defamation, and the arbitrary deportation of non-national lawyers. Lawyers should never be identified with their clients or their clients' causes as a result of discharging their professional functions. And they should be free to prepare the best defense possible for their clients in compliance with the principle of equality of arms. Impunity surrounds such breaches of the independence of the legal profession has had a chilling effect on lawyers, and it has now become extremely difficult to secure a lawyer in state security-related cases. Many lawyers refuse such cases or drop them early on owing to the pressure placed on them. That's the reality. Ladies and gentlemen, as you would have seen in the report, I addressed a total of 42 recommendations to the authorities of the United Arab Emirates. I also strongly encourage the UAE to continue engaging with human rights mechanisms. In particular, I suggest that they invite a special rapporteur on torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, and the special rapporteur on the promotion and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms while countering terrorism, and the working group on enforced and involuntary disappearances. I encourage you, in your respective capacities, to follow up on these recommendations. I will ensure to communicate my concerns regarding the UAE to my successor, and can only hope that she or he will follow up on them as well. Thank you for your attention.